On my personal development journey, I have begun to develop insights that genuinely make life worth living. In this video, we'll walk through 10 reminders and small actionable steps that can make your life better every single day. Number 1. The little things matter a lot. Let's kick this off with a liberating truth. The majority of our lives is spent doing, quote, mundane tasks. We like to fantasize about all the amazing experiences we want to have. This mentality causes us to forget about all the amazing things we experience every day that can add so much substance to our life if we're willing to pay attention to them. In the Pixar movie Soul, after the main character Joe Gardner has just experienced his lifelong dream of being a jazz musician, he can't help but feel a sense of emptiness inside. Seeing his dissatisfaction on what should have been the greatest night of his life, Dorothea Williams, the lady who gave Joe Gardner his shot to be a jazz musician, tells the tale of a fish. "I'm trying to find this thing they call the ocean," says the young fish. "The ocean?" says the older fish. "That's what you're in right now." "This?" says the young fish. "This is water. What I want is the ocean." This brilliant quote shows how so much of life is spent dreaming about grander, bigger things, when much of the beauty is right in front of us. I'm not sure why I did the southern accent, but roll tide, am I right? Number 2, be thankful. A nice caveat to focusing on the little things is to be thankful. When you think about it, our ability to live stems from a group of people around the world who are amazing at what they do and who all contribute to the quality of our lives. If you want to drive anywhere, that requires being inside a car that has been designed by a team of engineers. Want to eat food? That requires going to the grocery store and buying food that has been farmed and shipped to shelves all over the world. As much of our lives is spent thinking about ourselves and thinking that other people are thinking about us more than they actually are. Wait, what? Say that again. We live in a collective world where so many people all over contribute to everyone's quality of life. My point? Every moment of every day, there is so much to be thankful for. Number 3, walk a mile in someone else's shoes. Okay, hear me out on this brilliant documentary idea I have for Netflix, and if it exists already, I gotta know about it. Imagine a series where the CEO of a company is stripped of role for a month or 6 months and has to live as a broke bottom of the chain employee. This would encourage the CEO to really gain insights into what their day-to-day looks like. Hello? Oh, yeah. Oh, this is the CEO of Netflix. Oh, the jet's waiting for me at the airport and you want me to fly down there right away. Okay, yeah. Got it, on my way. The single most important thing you can give someone is your time. Hey, do you want this? $100. Take it or leave it. Being empathic is the very definition of walking a mile in someone else's shoes. And I feel like it's something that a lot of us could be so much better at. As Stephen Covey talks about in his book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, seek first to understand before being understood. In layman's terms, listen for the sake of listening rather than for the sake of responding. Listen for the sake of learning and building a connection with someone else. Life is not black or white, meaning your truth is not necessarily the truth of someone else. Now, there are a few universal truths and things that we can agree on. Gravity exists on Earth. The Earth is round. Right, Kyrie? Right? Okay, even this one's in the gray area. When I say something like Nickelback is the single greatest band of all time, which we can all agree is a universal truth, right? Some people just might not agree with that. I'm not wrong, nor are they wrong. Okay, maybe they're a little bit wrong. But you get the point. Everyone has different truths based on their upbringing, environment, friend groups, media they consume. Everything in the world that we see contributes to our perceptions of it, and we must be aware that every time we talk to people and disagree, we can disagree and both parties can still be right, depending on the situation. Right, Kyrie? I'm sure you've heard the expression, comparison is a thief of joy. For whatever reason, I used to think of this expression solely from a person-to-person perspective, like trying to compare my singing voice to that of Chad Kroeger. Look at this photograph. But I've learned that that expression doesn't need to stop there. It also applies to favorites. We all have favorites, which add a lot of substance to our everydays. Like, for instance, I'm a massive Oilers fan. I wouldn't trade that for anything, and I love the banter that we have with Flames fans. But we don't always need to have favorites. It is human nature to always try and gauge how much we're liking something. Always ranking stuff out of 10, always judging stuff, but what if we forgot about that altogether and just enjoyed everything for what it is? If we adopt the mindset that everything is great in its own ways, our brain will start to seek out the things that we enjoy in every experience. Number 6, seek the best in others. I heard a quote somewhere that went along the lines of this: "It is not others' job to show you the best in them, but it is your job to find it." A universal truth that often goes unsaid, besides Nickelback being the greatest band of all time, is that all of us in life are just trying to do our best to figure things out and to live a life that matters to us. In other words, none of us know what the heck is going on most of the time. There's plenty of criticism and negativity going around in the world, which is why I believe we truly need to emphasize seeking out positives in everything. The world at large needs that. Number 7. Do the right thing. In this video here, I talk about how seemingly small things have a massive impact, and that is something that we should apply and live by every single day. On this channel, I talk about the concept of being that person. Being that person stems from committing to doing the right things in every aspect of our lives. It's about giving people specific compliments and helping them feel heard and understood. As I said earlier, the number one thing you can give someone is your time. The $100. When you're with others, put your phone away. Be present. Take a genuine interest in their life. Walk a mile in their shoes. Another dimension of doing the right thing, which is outside of interacting with other people, is acting in line with the person you wish to be. Condition yourself to habitually do the things that inch you closer to the person you wish to become. You want to be a writer? Well, then why are you still scrolling on social media? Sorry, that was more so me talking to myself. I struggle with social media use, and if you do too, then you could find a lot of value in this video here. To re-reference the 7 habits of highly effective people, habit number 2 is beginning with the end in mind. Take a look far into your future and imagine that you're at your funeral and all the people who loved you are there. What are they saying about you? What was the life you lived? If you live in line with the person you wish to be, you will have such a fulfilling life, and all of the people at your funeral will remember you for just that. Being someone who did the right thing, being someone who went for it, and being someone who lived in line with their core values. Number 8. Be in your penthouse. No, this does not mean you need to buy a penthouse in Malibu, although that would be pretty damn awesome. Being in your penthouse is a metaphor for our brains. My girlfriend has this wicked cool job where she travels a lot for work. On one of her trips to Denver, Colorado, she attended this Mayo Clinic presentation which talked about our brain as a penthouse and basement. In our penthouse, we are intentional with our thoughts. We are purposeful. In our basement, however, we are not fully here. Y'all ever hear something that makes total sense when you hear it, but is not something you had ever considered before despite how obvious it is? By the way, what's up with the southern drawl today? I don't know what's gotten into me. This quote here was that obvious thing that for whatever reason I had just never considered before. Being in your penthouse is a way to fully be here now, fully be wherever you are. So if you're with me today, thank you so much for watching. Number 9. Make the most of every day. You hear that? That's the sound of your life ticking down. Doesn't it feel like we're now in an episode of 60 Minutes? Look, there is probably a nicer way to say this, but the blunt reality is that none of us make it out alive. I recently downloaded this app called The Final Countdown, which estimates how much time you have left in your life. The $100. Based on your current habits, age, etc. And you just add in all the things you wish to accomplish before that day comes. Now, this app doesn't account for the fact that we all could be struck by a bus tomorrow. Gosh, this section has been quite grim. But in a weird and twisted way, the fact that you could die at any moment highlights the importance of making the most of every day. Remember that even in the biggest struggles of pursuing our dreams, going for it, we should still try to enjoy the ride.
Those times when you get up early and you work hard, those times when you stay up late and you work hard, those times when you don't feel like working, you're too tired, you don't want to push yourself, but you do it anyway. That is actually the dream. That's the dream.
That brings us to our final section. It's the final section. Friend and mentor Stan Peak had an amazing TED Talk, which I've linked in the description down below. In his talk, Stan tells the story of his life, which seems to be checking all the boxes from an external perspective.
I'd set a ton of career and financial goals, and I thought once I achieve those, I'll be happy. I reached the salary goal. I bought the business. I sold the business and made money. I had once-in-a-lifetime adventures on 4 continents. Got married to my beautiful wife. We had a great kid. I wrote a book. We bought the house. I seemed to check all of the boxes, but something was off.
What he learned is that external things like promotions, our material things like cars, and anything else that doesn't come from within brings us only fleeting happiness. On the flip side, intrinsic things like being thankful, being proud of ourselves, working towards something that's bigger than ourselves, those are intrinsic things that lead to long-lasting happiness. As cheesy and corny as it sounds, every day we get to live is a gift, and all the time that we have is time that we will never get back. By making a conscious effort to just enjoy, we will find so many incredible things in our life that will add so much substance to our everydays. The gatekeeper to your happiness is you. This has been episode 42 of Awaken Your Potential, and to commemorate each episode, I put a paperclip into this jar here that just kind of represents showing up. So I appreciate you all being here. We will fill this jar together, and once we do that, we'll just get a bigger jar. See you all very soon, you sexy beasts.